Alright, I'll
Oh,
do your intro.
we're starting lots of shit.
Tell me when we're live.
Live.
We are live.
Live.
I'm joking. Just kidding.
Welcome to the Untitled Studios podcast. We love you.
31.
Yeah, welcome to
In
this.
action.
We're
Okay.
all very excited, as you can tell.
Okay, am I focused? Are you showing my presentation? Because
I
it's
am showing
brilliant.
Yes.
It's brilliant this week.
Go for it.
So I'm
All
continuing
the
Stabby's
colors.
presentation from last week and doing part 2 of the kill list.
Yay.
These are people who we should kill and who are on our chopping block, basically.
We're doing a favor by killing
people who
them.
steal others' ideas. You know, I absolutely hate unoriginal slobs. There are plenty of thoughts that have yet to be thunk. So how about you think of them before stealing another thinker's thoughts that they've already thought themselves?
Think a pie about that.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to end mine with people who complain all the time.
All right, 2 people who would vote for Donald Trump.
Hey, he can't do worse than any of the other people.
He's an
Oh, yeah, he
obvious
can.
corporate shill and a borderline fascist. Like, the reason we didn't vote Mitt Romney in, because, you know, he's someone with 30-plus years of private sector experience. It's because running a country isn't the same as running a corporation. And when you select a president, more than just economics has to come to mind. Dumbass.
To be fair, America is almost a corporation now.
No, it's not. It's really not.
We're heading
not
in that direction.
Hey, that's the first actual point you've made.
Hmm?
Wow.
You know, when you and I were arguing about Donald Trump for president earlier, that's the only actual point you've actually made. That's actually a true point.
Oh,
Well,
please.
besides that, he's a complete fucking retard.
Yeah. It's,
Oh, you people are so dumb.
Do we really
Sure.
want
No,
another
no.
retard like George Bush?
Hold on.
Whoa.
You know, he
Let's
might,
finish the presentation before we
he
get into this.
might be intelligent. You know, if every public appearance he's made so far has been a
because
clever
dumb
ruse,
people are billionaires
he-
all the
he
time. They
might-
win billions of dollars. Really
he
stupid
might
people.
be able to delegate well, but is he really going to be able to cut through Washington's political gridlock and put this country on the progressive path that it needs to take? No. He's going to surround himself with a like-minded cabinet, just like all of the other presidents, that will sink this country at a pace that would make Dick the WMD Cheney blush. Worked on that line for a while, revised it. And, I'm not done yet. And speaking of economics, this stupid asshole just proposed that we build a fence on the Mexican border.
I believe he said wall.
A wall or fence, whatever.
The wall of separation.
Wow. You know, sure, it would create some jobs for the abundance of immigrants that live on the border states, but, you know, these are low-skilled, low-paying jobs that are already being rapidly created as the economy recovers under someone with no private sector experience. You know, this is a man who's lost his fortune several times. Did he recover it? You know, apparently, but he fucking lost billions in the first place. Do you want someone who gambles with their own fortune like that to lead your country, to take your tax dollars and do what he wants with them? And those billions
Good Lord.
may not even be billions. This dumb fuck actually he tried to sue this poor author, for $5 billion, because the author called him a millionaire and presented some evidence that would speak to that.
Wow.
And of course he lost. He's a moron. You know, he's got apparently all these resources to get a crack lawyer team, but he lost against this poor author. So is someone who values the perception of his own fortune that much going to give a shit about the wealth gap? Or, you know, any of the other issues that plague actual people? No. Still not done.
Jesus Christ.
I love it. Here, hold on a second.
We have double
I got
angle.
cut off,
Yeah.
kicked out, jumped back on, and you were still on the.
He's
Donald
still
Trump.
whining about something he doesn't know anything about.
Hold on. I'm still not done. So look at this man in the corner. I put a picture of him up here for a reason. And tell him seriously that you'd want him to be the commander-in-chief of the largest and most advanced army of the history of God's green earth. Tell me that.
China?
No. No, I think that you might have the largest one. We definitely have the most advanced one. Most carriers, most aircraft.
That we bought from
the
the
weapons
Chinese.
that matter. So tell me you want to be able to deploy. You want him to be able to deploy troops at any threat of terror, which the president can do, any perceived threat anyway. So this man. This is a man who dodged the draft like a bullet back when he could have served. He has no concept of how a modern army operates and no concept of what war is like. And, you know, it was Otto von Bismarck who said the reason that he was so careful to go into war is that he's seen the glazed eyes of a soldier who's died on the battlefield. And, you know, I'd expect the commander to have at least a little experience or you know, have some experience on Washington dealing with military personnel.
Yeah. As opposed to the vast majority of our elected presidents.
One more, maybe.
One more, maybe.
Well, most of our presidents have had like some kind of experience, maybe as a congressman or maybe holding Bill Clinton's dick. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to say the majority of our presidents haven't had anything to do with war, so I don't know where you get that from.
Well, they've had, you know, most of them that have used their armies well have had some concept of how an army works.
Yeah, but none of them have experience prior to that with the military, so I don't know where you're getting that from.
No, not quite a few of them do. Teddy Roosevelt, the other ones that I. So
yeah,
how
the 52, like 8,
so
maybe a 5th.
Here, how would it look to the world if we elected a man who, in every public appearance, has showed himself to embody all the negative aspects of the American stereotype? He's just shown himself to be a stubborn, prideful, loudmouth, hot-headed, materialistic, etc. So the world is just now starting to see the U.S. as more intelligent and agreeable, and you want to fuck it up. You think a man who's relied on Chinese business for the last 2 decades is going to get tough on them? You know, China's making islands in the Pacific that act as military bases. They're going out there with a bunch of sand, planting a bunch of sand in the South China Sea, and then declaring that is their land.
The Chinese are coming.
Yeah, no, they're a pretty fucking scary country.
Too many Chinese.
So many, no.
Yep.
Did you see the Olympics?
Those squint-eyed fuckers.
They are organized, and they have a mass amount of people. Just saying.
Yeah.
And they have awesome drum solos.
Just think about a million 5'8" black-haired men rushing at you on the battlefield. That's scary. So, you know, just imagine Donald Trump sitting in a room of foreign leaders and diplomats with every camera in the Western Hemisphere pointed at him, and he's trying to, like, represent the United States of America.
And he fires somebody.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, you're fired,
Russia. But, you know, given his record with TV appearances, which is all we reasonably have to go on, what guarantee do we have that he's not going to absolutely embarrass us on the world stage? None.
Yeah.
I'd actually say.
Good Lord.
And I'd actually say we have a guarantee that he's absolutely going to embarrass us. So I could go all day with this. Do you know the kind of people that get shit done in Washington? You know, they're pragmatic, experienced, careful, and sensitive to the issues facing the world, and more importantly, the American public.
So every single politician who's fucked us in the past has done fits this exact bill. Every politician who's fucked us fits this exact bill, so let's elect more of them.
What do you mean?
That's a great plan.
What do you mean?
You're describing all the people that have fucked our economy and fucked our country.
Oh, so the people who...
Pragmatic, experienced, careful, and sensitive people to the issues.
Yeah, wait a minute. What sensitive people are we electing?
Yeah, where are these people at?
That's exactly how they were.
They're not in Washington.
Not like they're gonna, they're not gonna, lay down the Lincoln bedroom and cry over them, but they understand that they exist.
It seems to me the argument for Stabby's side is, well, we've had worse.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think that's a good argument for installing...
No, my argument is that we've elected a bunch of politicians and Trump isn't a politician. He couldn't...
No, he's worse. He's
absolutely a politician.
He's more evil than a politician. Where are you going with this?
Which is hard to do.
Yeah, well,
that's hard to do.
Donald Trump deploying troops somewhere scares the crap out of me.
What about having worked on Washington make somebody automatically evil?
No, it doesn't. Our track record of presidents that you're describing are all like people who've destroyed the economy and the country. So I don't really understand why you would want more of that.
I'm describing
Every
people like
president we've ever had.
Lyndon Johnson or Roosevelt, the second one.
I think that's,
he understood that poor people weren't doing well. He took over during the Depression, and so he put in public works programs to help them. And
and I think if you want that kind of stuff, if you want like the kind of boost that this economy needs, somebody like Trump is far more likely to do that.
Well, no, not at all.
That are running Hillary Clinton
fired,
Hillary Clinton is far more of a shill than Trump is. Trump has his own money.
You would vote for the guy who proposed to build a literal wall at the border of Mexico. You know how long that border is? It's
Obama
at least 600
put in a
miles.
healthcare system that fucks us even worse than the healthcare did before he put it in.
Well, no, there are a lot of people under Obama's system who are not compromisingly insured. It's not the best system, but it's much better than what we have.
That's actually... Hold on. The Obamacare, there's actually, I actually have a good testimonial for that healthcare thing, man.
Yeah, that's just
when it comes down to it. That actually saved my ass at least twice.
You get fined now for not having healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't catch any.
For your own good.
Yeah, for your own good. If you decide not to have healthcare, the government takes your money.
Do you know how much healthcare costs, dude? It's a great deal.
Yeah, and when you don't use health
over several times, dude.
Yeah, and guess who ends up paying for it if your dumbass goes out and gets injured and you don't have health care? Because it's everybody else. It's not like, oh, you're on your own, here's all this debt. No, we end up paying for that.
Oh, God, you guys live in such a fantasy world.
I think
you really do.
The person who wants Donald Trump for president is in a fantasy.
The person
that you guys think that a guy who has $8 billion is an idiot and not just socially inept.
He is an idiot. Hilarious. Have you listened to him talk? He's a complete fucking moron.
He's socially inept, but the guy can't be that stupid if he has $8 billion $4 billion.
The president
I have to tell you this. You can be rich and stupid at the same time. In fact, I'd go so far as to say the richer you are, the fucking stupider it seems you are, and more divorced from reality you are. We really want that type of asshole in charge?
Does not equal stupid.
No, he's not saying socially inept. He's saying he lives in his own. Let's say he has $8 billion, which he
he has about $4 billion. I misquoted. He quotes himself as having $8 billion, but the reality is he has probably about $4 billion.
Okay, well, what is he going to do for the average person? Besides the regular, hey, I'm going to benefit myself, and eventually that'll trickle down.
Oh God, Stabby, you and Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Favor Donald Trump as president.
Hey.
Go hang out with Bill O'Reilly for a while.
Go hang out.
Tell us how things are going to work out.
I'm serious. At any given point, not putting a politician in office is probably the best choice.
But
that's fucking ridiculous. That's actually insane.
He was thinking of running with Oprah as his vice president. How much better can you get?
Oh, okay. So
that's the scariest shit ever.
Yeah.
Oprah as president, him as the vice president. Yeah, so he doesn't have much power. Like that's the better scenario.
Vice president has a pretty substantial amount of power, dude.
Well, they do, but
they don't. It's not
as much as
they only
fit
the Congress agenda.
Yeah, they do that. I mean,
that's not power. Choosing what Congress talks about. That's fucking nothing.
But it's still not as influential as the president.
It's one of the least influential positions. And besides that, Oprah and Donald Trump don't agree on anything politically.
No, it was a joke. He was joking about running with her. I don't think he actually.
I'm voting on Oprah Trump.
That would be fucking weird.
Donald Trump has his head so far up his ass.
I get that you guys don't like him, but none of your arguments are more than like, well, I don't like the way he talks.
Okay,
no. Let me put your argument in simple terms. He's never worked on Washington. He's never had a public sector job, so he would be great for a public sector job.
Let me put my argument into words. Here's a man who's made and lost fortunes, who understands the economy in a way that probably no candidate does, and probably has a much better chance of helping ours.
Oh, please, no. Then go back to my
listing it so that he can make more money.
He's going to be dealing with much more than the economy. You know, it's not. He's not running a corporation. He's running a country.
And clearly, a man who, as you guys claim, is that dumb, has the ability to delegate duties to people who do know what they're doing and knows how to take advice from smart people.
That's not how it works. Dude, he has to make this policy decision.
Saying that we shouldn't have.
Do you really think the president sits in the office with nobody else to help him in any way, shape, or form and just makes up policies?
The next president's going to select at least 2 judges, I think 1 or 2 Supreme Court judges. So he's going to have to make politically charged
And you don't
decisions.
think there's a committee involved in that? You think it's just him alone?
No, I think there's definitely a committee, but do you think, that committee is going to come up with a nice liberal judge that's going to, or that's going to come up with objective rulings? No, they're going to come up with the most conservative candidate that's going to get them the results they want. That's going to get their laws declared constitutional.
No. A Supreme Court justice is picked by the president and is approved by the Congress.
Yeah, there's safety measures in place.
Of course.
But for the last 8 years and forever, actually, Congress has used those picks. Held the president hostage over those picks. It's totally a political thing. It's not like.
So then, why would you think that it would matter who he picked? If it's a political thing, they're going to be chosen before he even gets into office.
Because the scale's already been tipped in one side's favor for far too long. If we put another retard in charge of picking more people, it's just going to become.
He's far more likely to pick somebody
more unfair. No, he's not.
No, he's definitely not. If you don't think
saying that, but why do you think that?
Yeah, what kind of retard are you? Have you just turned conservative over the past 2 days?
No, it has nothing to do with conservative or Democrat.
Yeah, he's undoubtedly a conservative.
Totally conservative. Undoubtedly.
It has nothing to do with one or the other. Those things.
Yes, it does.
It absolutely does.
Fucking
you guys
everything.
There is a difference between conservative economic policy and liberal economic policy.
Obama was a fucking conservative. Let's be honest. He called himself a Democrat, and he was a conservative all day, every day.
He's a centrist. Center.
He was the most Republican Democrat we've ever had in the fucking Oval Office. He was a fucking conservative.
I wouldn't say that necessarily. In some ways, but in other ways, he's not.
He did one
when Clinton was in office. When Clinton was in office, he signed the Defense of Marriage Act, which was basically no gay people getting married, not in my country. Disgusting.
Yeah, all the lip service shit.
Well, yeah, but on social issues,
and then everything else, he just gave it all to the corporations. So I don't really see how that would be any real difference.
He's more liberal than we're used to, just a bit.
Yeah, on social issues, but on the issues that actually matter to the economy and the person on a day-to-day basis.
Well, you shouldn't vote just on the economy. That's ridiculous. And plus, Trump's lost his fortune how many times? How many times?
And he's gotten it back how many times?
But he's lost it though.
So
you're not.
I hope he gains when he's in office. And
he
doesn't everything while he's in office.
The point is, you can't hold money over his head. He's not going to be as easily influenced by that shit because he's already dealt with it for most of his life.
Oh, what are you talking about? You're not qualified to be president right now that Donald Trump, let's say he's worth $4 million. You don't say he wants $8 million. Like, hey, what if I change these rules a little bit?
How
and I can
is
get
he
more
qualified
money?
to be president? Why should we make him president? What is he going to do that's going to wow me? That's going to make him being president awesome?
No, you don't understand. This obviously conservative guy is going to make a bunch of government jobs out of nowhere. Boom.
What I think
I just want to hear what he's going to do. I'm open to voting for him if he's going to make shit amazing. How's he going to do it?
I'd love to hear that too, but maybe we should not discount him before
he's gonna first start with stopping all that immigration from Mexico.
So am I. But you guys have already decided he's an asshole.
No, I'm ready to hear it. I'm asking you for it right now. Why is
he just fucking announced yesterday? I don't know what he's going to do yet. I just know that he's better than a politician.
Even though you have no idea why he'd be.
And you're ready not to vote for him, even though you have no idea.
Because most people don't get to be president off the bat. You have to prove to me that you're good enough to be president. I don't just go outside and be like, well, he hasn't proven that he shouldn't be president, so I'm going to vote for that jackass down the street.
Yeah, no, so he's got my support.
You have to prove to me that he is going to be a good president, and all you're saying is he's going to be a good president, and you guys just want
I'm saying he would be a better president than the vast majority of politicians that are running.
Yeah, but he'd still be shit.
I do like Bernie Sanders, though.
All right, Stabby.
Name
Stabby.
Lumpier shit.
Name 5 of the candidates for
Your
president.
argument is he's not going to be as bad as the worst fucking shit ever. That's not good enough to be president.
Yeah, how about just name 5 of the candidates, and I'll move on to the next slide.
Whatever, dude.
Are we still doing this?
Yeah, we're still doing this. This is just eating up time. I'm fine with this.
I just want to know why he'd make a good president.
God, should we be done with this presentation and move on? Because I'm done. You guys just don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not even halfway done.
I'm ready to listen to why he'd be a good president.
No, you guys are not ready to listen. You've already made
am. I'm
because he's having.
I'm fine with the fact that we don't agree, but I'm not going to keep discussing if you guys have already made up your mind.
But I haven't heard a single reason why he'd be a good president yet.
All right, good.
So you just don't choose to discount them. That's fine.
Which ones are
you don't have to agree with me, dude.
I want to agree with you if you'd give me a good reason.
No, you don't. You guys just want to make fun of my.
Can you give me a good reason? Because we're offering you a chance to give good reasons.
No,
and you're like,
I've already given several. I'm not going to keep going.
Here, hold on. I think the reason. The only
this is like a Christian debate now. It's like you're refusing to listen to the reasons, and I refuse to state them.
Like the Magic Show.
The only reasons I've heard from Stabby up to this point doesn't make him a good president. It makes him a good cabinet member, like working for the Treasury, being head of that, because that is considered a business. Be good for a businessman to be in that position.
Someone to head the economy.
It does not make him a good president because it does make he is a good businessman. He is good at that.
Yeah, they've got to have a background in other things.
Socially,
diplomacy.
Not so much because of what we have to go off of is really terrible. Or being TV shows, which is something that a president does not need to be like displayed. What he does really well is business. And
they've got to be socially inept. They can't embarrass us on an international stage or even on a national stage and be taken seriously.
So the Department of the Treasury is something where he might flourish, but I just don't see him going that far where he needs that much power. But him having the power to help the economy, yes, I think he would make a great cabinet member. So it's just I can't see enough
I don't want him that far.
as what his skills are doesn't make him presidential status. He may prove me wrong, which is entirely possible. His social views, because that is important part of being president, not just his business practices and not just how his politics or diplomacy is. He has to be good on everything, or at least have his standing on everything. And if I don't side with that same social view, no, it doesn't matter. I want to have enough blanketed backing from him that I will vote for him. But if he is good at business, then he needs to stay with business. That's it, plain and simple.
Yeah.
All right, next slide.
Thank you. I've been trying to say that for the last 10 minutes, God damn it.
Good job, Angle. I like it.
Motherfuckers.
This might actually be the last one. And yes, I think Hillary Clinton and Jeb Bush, while still awful choices, are much more qualified than Donald fucking Trump to be president.
Bernie Sanders for president.
2, Donald Trump is on the kill list. I didn't even need to add the text right there. I actually, if you don't do anything with the click to add text thing, it won't show up on the actual PowerPoint. I felt so strongly that I made my case well that I typed in click to add text. 3, people who don't knock. According to Schrodinger's masturbator paradox, there's a 1 in 2 chance that I'm masturbating right now in the moment that before you open the door without my explicit knowledge. So what's so urgent that you're willing to come into my room with those kinds of odds that I'm rubbing one out? Have some fucking respect for my privacy.
To be fair, Schrodinger masturbation paradox would be you're both masturbating and not masturbating at the same time. And we don't know which one until we open the door.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, same thing. 3, millennials. So just look at these killable fuckers.
Especially that one. She looks weak.
Yeah. On their phones, we could probably take 2 or 3 of them out before they even realize it. And if the images alone aren't enough, let me remind you that these are mostly the people responsible for all those dumbass 90s kids posts.
Yeah.
That absolutely no one likes. 5, Generation Xers.
I like those.
There has never been a bigger disappointment to the world than Generation X.
I'm sorry.
As a testament, they have still not managed to take control from the dying baby boomers. I mean, they're dropping left and right, and they still got this world by the nuts.
The baby boomers are like China. There's just so many of them. We're trying to kill them as fast as we can. Give us more time.
Yeah, and they're trying to stay alive, all that Medicaid or whatever. So they always manage to complain about everyone else. Yeah. So what an irrelevant group of pricks this is. Next, baby boomers. So not only does their closeness to death make them killable, but their just general shittiness. I don't see a single larger obstacle to an ideal society than old people. For this to get any better, we're just going to have to start slaughtering them en masse, like lambs or something.
Yeah.
Just silence all the lambs.
Yeah, it would make up for a lot of the environmental destruction. Next on the list, self-proclaimed whatevers. If nobody but you thinks you have a certain quality, do you really have that quality? No, dumbass. You're just as much of a whatever as Rachel Dolezal is a black woman. Next, people more successful than me. The easiest way to make myself more successful by comparison is to knock others down a peg into a fiery pit.
Yeah.
But seriously, stop doing life better than me and fall into line like the rest. They never told me this part when they said I could be anything in life.
Yeah, it's like the Klingon command structure. You just kill the person in charge of you, and then you're in that position.
Oh, God. Why would you want to be in charge at all? You could just be safe down at the bottom.
I mean, you're the most savage motherfucker around if you're in charge.
I guess so. Until some other savage motherfucker comes up right behind you.
Well, yeah.
So 9, Reddit admins.
Until Gen X comes by.
They just need to let me hate my fat people in peace. That's all I ask of them. Or at least don't ban a subreddit with no warning at all under vague pretenses that have yet to be explained fully. Vote.com admins. I'd really like to give their service a try, but I can never get on because they've, every time I try and get on, it's like a Reddit. It's where everybody's been going since Fat People Hate got shut down. It's basically the same site, but I've been, unable to get on because for a couple days they haven't been able to get new servers or whatever. So next, college students. They're just embarrassing. No polite.
I think Stabby's given up completely at this point.
Is Stabby even there?
I just got back and started at Minecraft. I was busy somewhere else for a minute there.
All right, good. 12. Me.
God damn it, it crashed.
I'm yes on my own kill list. No need to send the police over here. So how could I be so stupid to release my transracial presentation 6 months before the controversy starts? I just had to be ahead of the curve. All the way back in episode 4 of this fine podcast. Stupid me, shame, shame, shame.
Yeah, how could you?
And then number 13, the viewers. So they have yet to multiply like I thought they would. Why are there so few of you? Why am I cursed with such a small channel? We're charming, quaint, and don't put a lot of effort into the videos at all. And people like that, right?
Yes. It's part of our charm.
That's you like mediocre all the way.
And I got pretty pissed off making this. So don't actually contact me. That would be terrible. But feel free to head over to my other channel, my Mr. Classholes channel, to watch my Civ 5. I'm eating something, that's why.
You're doing an advertisement for your own channel. You're eating.
I told you I don't
say the name of the channel.
Hold on now.
Please tell me you can title this Trump for President at this point.
Yes, you can.
Like retroactively, so people will be like, "Oh, we gotta watch this shit."
You can.
Okay, good.
That's how you do it.
I told you we don't put a lot of effort into these videos. See? Right here. I called it. So you can watch my single-player Civ 5 playthrough, and in which I had so much fun talking to an imaginary group of people.
Yeah.
The link will be in the description as soon as it's up.
I like to imagine that there's like an entire civilization inside my microphone, and I'm just talking to them.
I'll make sure. I'll make sure to leave a proper description so that you'll know where to put your link in the description. Don't worry, you'll recognize it. When I'm done putting all the links in the video, you'll definitely recognize where I left for yours.
Oh, is it at the bottom?
No, I'll make sure it's at the top, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So somebody put this up.
I put that up, yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to discuss this because there's one thing that bothers the shit out of me, and I don't know.
Yeah. You want me to explain
you can read it?
Nobody left behind is what I read.
But like, there's one that says down here in the pink. It says healthy at every size, and it says it on every one of them. And I want to just say, like, these people can go fuck themselves because it's just not true.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine with you being like, hey, I'm a fat cunt, and I don't want people to make fun of me. It's not nice. But for the love of God, stop making shit up. It's not fucking healthy to be that overweight.
It's not healthy at every size.
And did you bring this?
Even being too skinny is not healthy.
The second one that I did.
No, I didn't want to.
So basically, somebody made a parody of this where they found that a video of that plus size model. She's like, what, 400 pounds or whatever.
Yeah, and she had to be like helped up by 3 other people because she couldn't fucking stand on her own.
Yeah. So the caption was, "I stand with the help of 3 other people."
Yeah, that's fucking annoying as shit. Like, I'm hella big, but I can get up off the floor all by myself.
How can you stand? But how can you call yourself healthy when you can't do basic things like stand up by yourself?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, she's probably got like back problems and knee problems and ankle problems and hip issues.
But you're healthy. No.
Oh, and it's not good for your internal organs and all this other shit.
What I understand, being slightly overweight, like what we used to call overweight, may actually be healthier for you, but not.
Yeah, you like being like 5 or 10 pounds over your.
Yeah, but not what these people are talking about, where they're like 300 pounds over. It's like that's not healthy.
Here's the problem, though, because the way we measure that, as far as like is it healthy or not, is we measure that by the what's that? The BMI.
Yeah, we don't.
Body mass index, which is not an indicator of healthy weight.
Yeah.
No.
So, I mean, it might be that body fat percentage-wise, that's actually a whole different story, and that isn't really overweight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta like factor in muscle. If you're swole and you're off the BMI charts, that's why, because you have tons of muscle.
And you got big bones.
Yeah, when I lost weight, so I'm 6 foot tall. I think the upper weight range for me is like 195 pounds or something like that, 190, 195. But when I was losing weight, and I got down to 250 pounds, because I'm a fat fuck, whatever. You guys have seen video before, or you haven't, and I don't give a shit. I got down to about 250 pounds, and when I checked my body fat percentage, and I calculated in like the skeleton and the organs weight, I had roughly 180 pounds of muscle mass. And this is because I would lift weights like every other day and fucking exercise pretty regularly. So if I had 180 pounds of muscle mass, how the fuck am I going to get to 190 pounds? Cut off a fucking leg because I'm 6 foot tall?
Yes.
Yeah, I think your head is actually 10 pounds, so that's...
You keep eating, then you'll have to have your leg amputated. Then...
yeah.
There you go. That's the spirit.
It's just such a ridiculous measurement, and they claim to do it just for the insurance purposes, but that's fucking pointless because it doesn't really indicate anything other than they're idiots.
They're moving away from that. Thankfully,
the lady in the bottom right has a "No Body Left Behind" shirt. Is that like, hey, if I fall, please help me up because I can't get up myself?
No, I think she isn't a big fan of leftovers.
Ooh.
She'll make sure to eat anybody you leave behind. Don't leave people at her house. She's a terrible babysitter, but a great cook.
And wasn't No Child Left Behind like horrific?
Oh, that was the worst thing.
Didn't that like destroy everything?
It's responsible for a lot of the standardized testing that we have now.
And here's the other thing. How much do you want to bet every one of these cunts will settle for nothing less than a guy that makes $100K a year and has 6-pack abs?
Oh, yeah.
Like, not one of them is going to go for some guy that they would deem like this guy's got no chance getting any of these pussies. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
No, that guy's probably going for a skinny model. Like, he looks like the kind of guy to flirt with one of the booth babes, even though they definitely have a ripped boyfriend.
Yeah, and then get really mad when they don't give him the time of day because, he's the 20th fucking piece of shit that's done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just don't give a shit.
Sounds about right. But no, yeah, BMI shit's pretty stupid, actually. I mean,
no, it works for most people. Not, but if you think there's a problem with you being on the scale, then do a body fat
it's
test.
like a good first indicator, but you don't want to do anything in depth based on the BMI. Like
no,
they've got way more accurate ways of measuring healthy.
Yeah, because get this.
Fat percentages.
So when I was at the junior college, I guess locally here in Maine, I used to work out a lot. I worked out 5 days a week. I was jogging, I was lifting weights, I was doing it all. I had coming out of high school. Yeah, no, it felt great. When I came out of high school, I was 150 pounds, and after working out like this consistently, I maxed up to like 180. I jumped.
Wow.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And so I figured, okay, 10 pounds of weight was probably mostly just fat. Sure. So I'm still sitting at 160, gaining 20 pounds of muscle because I was going crazy. If I actually, and when I took that test, I remember taking that test, and it considered me overweight, just a little bit above the line, but I was overweight because I am only 5'9".
Yeah, because your mass.
Because I'm sure. Just because of how tall I was, or how tall I wasn't.
Muscle.
Apparently, I was considered fat, and I wasn't like ripped Arnold Schwarzenegger status.
But the problem with that is the people in the pictures we just looked at, they also think the same thing. Like, BMI is bullshit. That doesn't apply to me.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it isn't.
No. For most people, for those people up there, it would definitely give a good indication.
It's a good first indicator.
You're better off using something that's actually designed to test health. Just check body fat percentage and go with that.
Yeah, it
makes way more sense because height really has nothing to do with your body.
If you work out a lot and you know that you've got a lot of muscle mass, then don't use BMI. But if you don't work out, you're just sitting on the couch all day.
If it's broken, use it only part of the time.
No, if it's broke, use it when it works.
If it's useful sometimes,
I'm telling you.
So it's like a clock. If it's stopped, you can still at least look at it twice a day.
No. I'm telling you, there's one scenario. There's one type of person that doesn't work for, and if you're not that type of person, then you can definitely, without a doubt, use it.
It doesn't work for anybody. It was designed to track.
It's like having a clock without a minute hand.
Body mass. That's the reason it was created. Was to find out if rich people were larger than poor people.
BMI,
That's all it was created for, is a measurement to find out if rich people were bigger than poor people.
But it works though. Like if you go to a doctor's office,
it's not a really good indicator.
Okay.
What's a really good indicator is body fat percentage, and all it takes is a small machine.
Kill everyone who doesn't shut up.
I'm suicidal.
It's more about how accurate is it. It's not going to be super accurate, but it can give you an idea. To use your clock analogy, it'd be like having a clock without a minute hand. Sure, it's not going to be super precise, but you can make an educated guess.
But when all you have to do is look at the wristwatch you're wearing already, why would you bother with the clock without a minute hand?
Because it's easier.
Because we don't have a wristwatch, and it's there, and it's easy to use.
Yes, we do. All you have to do is buy a very, very easy, very inexpensive machine that tells you what your body fat percentage is.
Well, yeah, if you don't have, if
there's
you
more
don't have a weight problem in the first place, then why would you buy a body?
Why would you go through all that trouble if you don't need to, when you can just look at the clock up there and be like, it's probably about 4:15.
Exactly.
That is so ridiculous. There's a precise measurement. Fuck that
You're
shit.
saying,
I got this here clock.
Yeah, because the precise measurement is harder to get, and you even admitted that you have to go out and do some special shit to get it. Here's
I'm saying your
one that's less accurate, but it's way more easy.
What I'm saying is your doctor shouldn't use BMI.
And 99% of the people that you're talking about, you can get a good guesstimate, and you don't need to go any further than that. For the people that you do need to go further, then you can invest that extra time and energy and go get your special equipment.
You guys are just proving that.
You have a high body.
But there's no point in doing that if you don't need that level of accuracy.
Yeah, if you have a high muscle mass and you show up as overweight in the BMI, the doctor can definitely reason even a small child.
And then they can use that other thing to get more accurate assessment.
A medical facility should have an actually accurate measurement. That's what I'm saying.
Doctors
should use BMI, not use body fat percentage.
Then they shouldn't have to.
Oh my God! Now you're saying it's not super accurate, so it's not accurate at all.
Yeah, no. Look at the people.
That's just insane.
Pull up that picture again and look at them and seriously tell me that you would actually have to do that precise measurement just to tell them they're fat. No, you can use the BMI scale.
Or you can use the BMI to determine if you need to go further with this other scale you're talking about.
Yeah.
But for most people, you're not going to need that level of accuracy.
Cool. I just don't want to buy anything you guys build.
Okay. Why? I mean,
if close is good enough, I don't want to buy anything you guys make.
If I'm gonna build something and I'm gonna try and use it, I'm gonna need a precise measurement. I'm not gonna.
It depends.
2 inches.
Does my clock need to measure like down to the picosecond, Stabby? Is it inaccurate if it doesn't do that?
Or am I just building a little model plane that
you guys just cannot handle being wrong, can you?
No, it sounds like you don't like being wrong.
I don't think body fat percentage is an accurate measurement. BMI is not.
No, it's not as accurate.
Yeah, not as accurate.
It's not accurate at all.
Oh, so it's not accurate for
now it's not accurate at all.
It wasn't designed to be a measure of health. It was designed to be a measure of
no, it's not a measure of health. Dude. It's a ratio. And if you fall into one of these categories, then
it's fun to listen to.
If your ratio is between this range, then we can
like a $20 fucking machine at your doctor's office.
And why do that if it's completely unnecessary?
Yeah, why not just step on the scale?
It's not unnecessary if you don't use something that doesn't work.
Wait, what?
But it does work.
No, it doesn't.
For most people,
disagreeing whether body mass index is useful at all. And I'm going to say that, yeah, it's useful in a lot of circumstances. It's just not as accurate as the thing you're talking about.
I hope we get some comments on this, because, dear God, you people are wrong. So
wrong. So the I stand people, the people in those pictures, their body mass index will not be accurate. Because
you're all pretty. You're all pretty.
Well, I mean, just stating that we're wrong over and over again doesn't prove anything, Stabby.
Yeah, I've already pointed out that body fat percentage is a far more accurate measure.
Yeah.
Oh no,
and completely unnecessary most of the time.
Okay. Here, let me moderate a little bit on this.
It's just like the clock analogy. It doesn't have to be super accurate for you to get a good idea. You can have less accurate and more accurate things, and they can be useful.
Though I do enjoy that.
That's what I really want with my health. Maybe.
I do enjoy change.
Because you can use the body mass index to inform whether or not you need to use something more accurate. But why use the super accurate thing and waste time and resources when this other thing will tell you if you even need to go that far?
Because it doesn't take more time or resources.
Yes, you just admitted earlier that it did.
Yeah.
Hold on,
no, it doesn't. It's
something you can do at home, though. It's something you can do at home.
So obviously, it does take more time and resources. Now you're just contradicting yourself.
It's no more expensive to get a body fat percentage measured than a scale.
At your home, though, like BMI is just so much more for the average person. Those people on the picture, those fat asses who think they're healthy, they don't need a doctor to tell them they're not healthy. They just need to get on the scale, put in their height and weight on a, on a whatever thing, the BMI calculator, and it'll tell them that they're overweight. And they don't have to go through the process of getting a body fat machine to tell them that they have a high percentage of body fat. That's
not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you go to the doctor's office, BMI should have no place there, and it should be body fat percentage.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's an accurate measurement, whereas BMI is not.
Because
for the same
insurance premium.
It's not as accurate.
Yeah,
that is true, because a body mass index is inaccurate, because body fat would be more appropriate to study, because given Stabby's and my example, he is, even where his standard should be, he will never achieve because of how his body is constructed. And my body is constructed that I will be over my line no matter what, too, because of my height. My weight in comparison to how my height is will always be off, and so I'll always be considered overweight.
Because using the body mass index, you can easily find out that, hey, he's not in that range that we need to go any further and use any more of these more
like,
accurate things to figure out. That's what I don't understand.
Your body fat index. I'm looking at it
No,
now.
It's not going to be as accurate, but it's still useful.
You have to get your waist circumference, your wrist circumference, your hip circumference, and your forearm circumference. There's a lot of there's a lot of room for error there. But two, it's just much more. It's 4 more steps than body mass or body fat index or mass index.
Yeah, and you can use both.
I do side with Stabby on the essence of if I'm gonna look at myself and consider myself like actually overweight, there's no hope for me.
No, but see,
a doctor
could just look at you and say, "Well, he's not. He can help himself up if he falls down.
Here's one for
he doesn't have to use the scooter at Walmart."
Here's one for $5 that they could have at your doctor's office. Oh, here's a scale that does the same thing.
I will side with Stabby on this one, given
there we go. $40 for a scale that does both.
I actually have been looked at by a doctor who's saying, "Oh, hey, you're 180 pounds, you must be fat, or you're considered a little overweight," which is utter bullshit.
And your doctor's a fucking retard.
Exactly.
No, the doctor's using the system that's put in place by people that say that like BMI is a better indicator.
That BMI is not a fucking dogma. Okay, let's be honest with ourselves a little bit.
It is the test that they use when you go in. It is that when they test your height.
To get a good
hold on. I have a question.
It's easier to do that.
Did the doctor then say to eat healthier and exercise more, or did you maybe explain to her that, hey, I don't have a beer gut and I don't eat unhealthily, so I probably don't have to lose weight, and body mass index isn't the best indicator for me?
So the system we use is wrong on a regular basis. We should keep using it as opposed to a system that won't.
No, it's wrong for a specific type of person that we can easily identify.
It's less accurate.
Yeah, it's just less accurate.
Less accurate does not equal completely useless.
You guys seem to think that me saying the BMI is inaccurate is somehow excusing or endorsing the body fat or the fucking idiots that I put the picture of up.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that for those people and for a lot of other people, it will tell them exactly what they need to know, that they're overweight or morbidly obese or whatever. But for athletes, people that work out regularly, lift weights, and have a high
so why would we use a scale that's only accurate for a small percentage or a large percentage when we could use one that's accurate for 100%?
Because it works most of the time.
Yeah.
So 90% is better than 100%.
No. It's the same. In the one situation that it doesn't work, we can
flat Earth theory to build buildings. Because the Earth is curved technically, but using the flat Earth model works on a local scale.
What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. Nobody's
to me for a fucking second, and I'll explain it. Jesus Christ!
Everybody's out in levels they're building.
I'm talking about less accurate versus more accurate, and if you let me fucking finish, I'd explain it. But no, you keep opening your fucking mouth before I can even finish your thought.
Welcome to the 31st and last episode. It's
called less accurate versus more accurate. More accurate is the Earth is curved. We don't fucking take that into account when we build something locally. We don't have to reach the pinnacle of accuracy for something to be useful. We use the flat Earth model every fucking day of our lives when we're driving down the street and building buildings and doing all the regular things that we do. We don't take into account the curvature of the Earth when we construct that house over there.
Yeah, like cars don't have
it's more accurate this way, but having a less accurate model can still be very useful.
But we still use a level and level off the building site before they actually start building.
And does that level account for the curvature of the Earth? I don't think it does, Stabby.
Considering that you're building on a couple hundred square feet, why would you be concerned about the curvature of the Earth?
Exactly. Even though it's more accurate, you're not concerned about it. Thank you for proving my point.
No, that didn't prove your point at all. I'm sorry.
Even though it's more accurate, it's still useful to use a less accurate method to do things, and you just admitted that was true.
So we should just eyeball the beams and the support for the building then? I mean, it's close enough. We don't have to take into account all that other stuff.
We don't have to take into account the curvature of the Earth when we build something. Have you ever seen a building where we did that? No, we just use a level that does not account for the curvature of the Earth because we don't need that level of accuracy to make the building stand. We haven't for thousands of years. Every single building that we've ever constructed wasn't built, oh, we got to account for the curvature of the earth. We just build that shit as if the ground is flat, and it's accurate enough to work. And it has been for thousands of years.
Yeah, no, we're saying when you don't need a highly accurate measure, you don't get one. You know, when especially when it's more convenient to use the slightly less accurate one.
Exactly.
But when you're actually building the thing and you're measuring out the I-beams or whatever the fuck goes into a building, you should definitely use the accurate measure, because that could seriously throw off the building.
Okay, I think where the impasse is Stabby, it sounds like you're arguing directly for...
Stabby's bringing up situations where you absolutely
Hold
need to be accurate.
You're just like Stabby there, Glassel.
I don't have a watch that measures picoseconds, so it's completely useless and inaccurate.
Hold on. So,
just like my hourglass is completely useless because it's not as good as my watch, right?
God damn
Come on, dude. You can still get a general idea.
Stabby's talking about the usage of the body mass index, which isn't as accurate as the body fat test in hospital scenarios. When you walk into the hospital, they test your height and your weight, and they check you using the body mass index. Yes, if you are obviously fat, it's going to tell you that you're fat. But to have a test that you can easily do, which the body fat test you can do easily, using that, walking into a hospital,
people need it.
A lot more. But it gives you a more
You're
accurate
using an example of people that need that test. Me and class are
talking
about
an
people that don't even need that test. Why would you say you're 6 foot? You don't need?
What if you're 6 foot and you weigh 180 pounds? Okay. You come in exactly the right body mass indicator. Yeah. However, what if realistically your body type indicates that you should weigh 150 pounds in order to be healthy, and you're actually carrying 30 pounds of extra fat around, so you're more likely to get a coronary incident? BMI says you're healthy. Body fat percentage would tell you that you're not. So why would you use something that could potentially give you a false positive when you could use something that just very simply says yes or no?
Well, if you have a large percentage of fat, you could see that. You know, if you have large fat deposits, it's obvious.
But if the scale needs you to double check other things, as opposed to just taking one test and being
you don't
at 36%, that's really high body fat percentage.
If you have a beer gut, you're aware of the beer gut. All right, it's not. You know,
I'm talking about a doctor.
No, it's
a doctor to be like, close enough.
Say it's just a good first indicator. You can still do the other test if you need more accuracy.
Barring other problems which are visible.
And we can still adjust the body mass index to reflect, you know, better with reality. It's not set in stone.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
All right, let's move on.
I'm just saying, let's not throw out the baby.
Did anyone bring anything else, or should we just keep arguing on this?
That was fantastic. What are you talking about?
No, we just entered the death arena, okay?
Yeah. Maybe
here we go.
We should call this episode the Thunderdome.
I'm in the corner, like, laughing my ass off while you guys are like just at each other's throats.
Trump for president of the Thunderdome.
5 things we need to teach our girls about female friendships.
I like it that Mike this time isn't the lone dissenter.
No, I'm like the lone dissenter because you guys are uneducated. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
I'll go fuck yourself, dude. You just have your viewpoint.
Hey! You knew I was a troll when you signed me up for this. Don't fucking lie about it now.
You're just being as stubborn as you are, and that's really.
I'm being as stubborn as Classing and Mike. There's no difference.
Oh,
Come on,
true.
We're all equally stubborn.
You're all stubborn assholes. You are.
The difference is we're all adults, so we're not going to turn around and be like, "Well, I'm never talking to those assholes again."
Dude.
Exactly.
I'm going to initiate a series of laws that make it to where you can no longer have the opinion you just stated.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's my goal now.
And that's how adults do it, motherfucker. Yeah.
So let's go to this list real quick before all our audience is completely gone. Although it would be funny if this turns out to be our most popular episode.
Oh, I would love it. This would be fantastic. Please,
more of that, please.
We just have to keep finding things we disagree with each other on.
Well, then I'm just going to have to bring a lot more feminist stuff.
Oh God.
5 things we need to teach our girls about female friendships.
Yeah.
I haven't read this, so I don't know if it's realistic or not. You guys will have to decide. Number 5, you don't need a best friend. You need to be your own best friend.
Yeah. That's not weird at all.
What?
Everybody wants a friend. Somebody sings about you, blah, blah, blah. They're saying the only problem is that when you're young and not sure of yourself, it can be difficult to be that person for someone else. So we can get let down by our best friends, and we can let others down.
Okay.
I think that's really weird. I think you should say maybe concentrate on having a few close friends as opposed to a lot of casual friends.
I mean, a best friend, like if you have a friend, just one, aren't they your best, best friend?
Yeah, by linguistic definition.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I agree. I see what you're saying. Yeah, by definition, that would make perfect sense.
You have to have a best friend if you have one.
Yeah, be your own cheerleader and have a small amount of close friends as opposed to a large amount of casual friends. I think would be better advice personally.
Yeah.
God damn it, we're agreeing again. Stop it.
Number 4, other people's behavior is about them and not about you. To an extent, sure.
Yeah,
I think I agree with that.
If you're running down the halls yelling racial slurs, they probably don't like you because you're an asshole. It's not about
that's
them.
your behavior.
That's about you.
I think that's your behavior at that point.
Yeah, but for the most part.
I just punched him in the face. I wonder why they hate me.
Yeah, I think they're talking about bullies.
I think this is for people who they walk down a hallway and hear a group laughing. And they think it's about them.
Oh,
well, it is.
Yeah, I can see that.
Stop being such a puss.
And you will make them pay
I
for
agree
it.
with this point.
Well, and just remember, if you're dealing with a bully, find them and make sure you wear a mask and don't leave prints and beat the hell out of them with a baseball bat. They'll never do it again.
Or soap in a sock.
Yeah, one of the two. You want to put them in the hospital, though. Because it's hard to bully people when somebody has to wipe your ass for you.
And while they're at the hospital, they can get their body mass index checked.
Oh, fuck off, class. Number 3, your feelings are about you and not about other people.
Sometimes. Sometimes my feelings are directly about other people.
I love how middle ground we are right now.
I don't like him very much.
This is great.
Well, it's because we're mature adults. We don't immediately hate the other people because we don't agree on 1 or 2 things. That would be silly.
Yeah.
I've hated Stabby for quite a while now.
Are you here just to hate me?
Nothing's changed at all.
Oh man.
Maybe this can
That's
be
not true.
This is awesome.
I think what number 3 is sort of a retarded version of take some responsibility for your own emotional state.
Yeah.
Like you do have,
Angst. Yay!
Bottle it up. Keep it bottled up inside and don't let it out.
Yeah.
Conceal, don't feel.
Until it explodes in a fury that you can't control.
Oh yeah, that's always healthy. I think they're talking more about you do have a certain amount of control over how you feel about certain situations. Sometimes it's going to go out of control. That's just the reality of humanity.
By the way, Stabby, why were you on a women's support website?
This isn't. This is the Good News Network thing.
Oh.
GoodNewsNetwork.org. The one where I found happy ones for Hearth. The one time we did that one episode where we decided to all do happy, upbeat articles for Englehearth. That's where I found them.
Every time I hear about the good news, I get a Bible handed to me shortly after that.
Yeah, what's the good word?
Yeah. I got the good news.
Number 2, we could be kind anyway.
That shouldn't need to be a rule or a thing.
If somebody's being mean to you or you're being excluded, you should be nice to those people anyway. I don't agree with that.
I do, because when you really want to get back at them, they won't expect it.
That's a good point. Now I agree with them.
You gotta work your way in.
Well, I think what that really is for the average amount of people's bullshit that is served to you on a daily basis really isn't worth giving attention to. If you were to sit there and be like, oh, that guy, tells me to fuck off every day or almost every day, it's after a while you're just like, oh, who gives a shit?
Yeah, once
you
infiltrated his group and poisoned his food, sure, let it go.
And by being an asshole to that person, you're really not accomplishing anything, but getting more and more angry about that and dwelling on it.
I do think that it does sort of encourage a bad habit, which is to just forgive people for being assholes.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just got to stop letting somebody have access to you. You know what I mean? Like if you're, I mean, everybody's been in that relationship where the other person just took way advantage of you, or, friendship, or closer than that. It's harder when it's family, but sometimes you really do just have to like put it real firm boundary down and be like, I'm not gonna have anything to do with this asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess to what I said, it is to a certain extent. Like if that person is like straight up bullying you, that's definitely different.
What if we did that to Hitler? Can we just be kind to Hitler anyways?
Hitler needs a hug. That's really all Hitler needed. He didn't need all that killing himself and stuff like that. He needed a hug.
Why we wouldn't, though.
Well, you probably adore Hitler and masturbate to him, but the rest of us are a little more sane than you.
That man has nice legs. I cannot be blamed for that.
In the winter.
Oh, Hitler, raise your arm just a little bit more.
This last one is really good for high school kids especially. Having a bigger world than just your school friendships makes for a healthier life. That's absolutely true. Don't fucking get into that weird incestual, only school matters thing.
Because school ends, and then all those people go away.
Oh, here's a good one. This is a real quickie.
They're like, hey, we'll keep in touch. You don't keep in touch. You don't see those people until the reunion.
Actually, speaking of that, I have mine in the year.
And then you gotta compare lives to see who wins.
Nice. You gonna go to it or?
Yeah, I'll go to it.
I have one that's really quick. Just it's a picture of a raccoon surfing on the back of an alligator.
Nice.
Those darn coons will think of anything.
Yeah, they don't really know how this happened. They just know that some guy got a cool photo of it.
Oh, racial connotations.
Is that the next Disney movie? I'm pretty sure that's a Disney movie coming out.
Yeah, Disney Pixar.
They gotta go on a big adventure to save the
family. Oh, Raccoon's Big Adventure.
Coon and Gator.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
So Hearth had an article to share? Or was that?
No, that was not.
Oh, okay. Then I have one more that I think ought to be... Two more that ought to be really funny.
I can try to find one.
No, I've got a couple. I just didn't want to take all the stuff out.
Maybe we just kind of struck gold, and we're never going to find anything that we disagree about again.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking unlikely. That'd be boring as shit.
Just like lightning struck.
I'm already planning a presentation on why you guys are wrong. Let's be honest.
Go ahead.
You started that shit. I have to go for.
I hope so. Back. Thank you.
Here's where there ought to be a cap on women studying science.
Stabby, you could just be nice.
Yeah.
This is the dumbest fucking article from Breitbart. I read a little bit of it, but it's just so ridiculous.
This is comedy gold right here in the making.
Women drop out of science and maths in alarming numbers, not because there are sinister and mysterious patriarchal forces at play, but because they either can't cut it in highly competitive environments or they simply change their minds about what they want from life. So we should put a limit on the number of women we allow in the fields.
No, see that?
Oh, God.
Damn,
we should do the same for black people and Filipinos.
Yeah, Negroes can't let them into those STEM fields.
What other races do we hate today?
I don't know. And
another reason they give. Even women who graduate with good degrees in science subjects often don't use them. They switch careers in their 20s, abandoning the hard sciences.
Aren't these people like the really right-wing, I hate big government people?
This is the most misogynistic article.
That's awesome. Stupid. You mean there's just regular people out there with science degrees?
Oh my God, they're not using them? Men could have had those places.
Just that they're educated enough to have science degrees impresses me. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's a disaster for the men who missed out on places, and it's a criminal waste of public funds. What? Christ. I'm guessing this is from the point of view of the UK, because I think in the UK college is publicly subsidized to a certain extent.
We got a doppel angle.
Oh, we get another one? Oh man, at least it's not my connection this time.
Yeah, my connection. It's been all weird. I'm not entirely sure why. God damn it.
This is the most ridiculous article. People can read it if they want, but
yeah. And do they even bother to go into the statistics of it, like how many women versus how many men drop out of science programs?
Yeah,
so I'm gonna guess that people in general just drop out of them because they're difficult.
Well, does this?
They should set the cap on female places in those fields at or not those fields, but those subjects at 5 to 10%.
Weren't we trying to get more women in the scientific workplace?
Oh, no, not these.
Shouldn't we just make it available to everybody on an equal basis?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You can try it out, and if you don't like it, then go on to something else. Go be a women's study major.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not a fan of the SJW point that it should be 50-50 no matter what, but I'm not a fan of any sort of limits on it. Shouldn't it just be whoever is the most qualified gets the spot?
And I thought the whole thing with
talent has nothing to do with it.
The whole argument against it being 50-50 is, well, people should have a choice what they do. If they want to go into this and make a mistake, then fine, let them.
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe they don't want to go into this. At 50-50, you would have to force women into the field.
Yeah. Let's not force anyone to do anything they don't like, but let's let them do it. I mean, it's not like there's the science programs in Britain or whoever wrote the article. It's not like they're bursting at the seams or whatever.
Oh, who wrote this article? I'm trying to find. Oh, it's by Milo Yiannopoulos. That guy's so fucking funny, but he's such an asshole too.
This really could be a side effect. Even if the numbers bear it out, this could just be a side effect of our recent push to try to get as many women into science as possible, and then they get a few years into it, and they're like, I'm just not feeling this.
Yeah, because
it's fine though. Who cares?
No, I'm cool with that. I'm just saying, they wouldn't have gone down that route had someone not pressured them to be a scientist or something.
Yeah.
The numbers may have been inflated to begin with, and now it's look at the dropout rate, and it's those people never had a real interest. They were pushed into it or given some incentive somehow, and they changed their mind. And that's just what happens.
Well, that particular article was a direct response to social justice warrior mentality.
Men changed their mind too.
It's kind of tough to have a reasonable argument back and forth between men's rights and social justice warriors because they both go to such extremes. Well, so that was a men's rights article. You know what I mean?
Yeah, though I don't think he'd call himself a men's rights activist.
Well, he didn't have to call himself that. He is one.
Kind of.
Milo Yiannopoulos? Watch his Twitter, dude. The guy's a fucking
but it's just because someone's for equality doesn't mean they're a feminist. It's all depending on how you personally identify yourself.
Technically, I'm a man's rights activist. Yeah. I'm also a women's rights activist, and
Well, we're probably all egalitarians.
I qualify under all of these terms.
I'm gonna act like I know what that means.
They're just kind of
I love the long silence after I said something.
Did you not know what egalitarian means?
No, actually, I've never heard that word before.
It means different things to different people, though. It's another vague one.
It means we all turn into equals.
Everybody's equal. Period.
Yeah.
There's no race, gender, or any sort of indicator there.
We all turn into eagles, and then we're all equal.
Yeah.
I want to be an equal.
We'll give it 5 to 10 years to a point where nanobots can remake your body however you want it. It will definitely be an egalitarian society.
Oh, God.
Okay, yeah.
There's a bunch of eagle fucking badgers walking around and shit.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, dude. Donald Trump could get put in his consciousness into a body of someone who doesn't look like a complete retard, and maybe
he looks like a fucking moron. There's just that fucking hairpiece. You're not fooling anybody, Trump.
My name is Donald Trump, and I endorse this message.
He could put his consciousness into a giant robot. Trump.
I envision Donald Trump as a giant octopus.
He can become one.
I wonder if the guy walks down the street and if the wind is blowing at him too much, it rises up if you left your hood undone.
He pays the wind.
Your car, it just
it just flaps in the wind.
He pays the wind
to block the wind for him.
He's just hey wind, I'll throw you a couple dollars if you could not blow.
Yeah, which is why he's so broke all the time.
Yeah.
Ouch.
He says the same thing to his hooker.
He's super rich though.
Throw you a couple dollars if you start to blow.
So this next article I've got going here, I highly recommend if you're listening to the podcast that you scroll down and you actually look for the everyjoe.com link and watch the video on it. I don't know if Harth or Mike, you guys don't spend enough time in Skype to really see all the videos that we post back and forth.
No,
there, right?
I don't. I tried
to rummage.
Yeah.
It's a quick 30-second clip, and it's quite literally a student advisor at Kennesaw State telling a young man who's sitting down that he is harassing her by waiting for an open spot to talk to a student advisor.
Yeah, he was in the waiting room, waiting really aggressively. Really aggressively.
But because he didn't have an appointment, he was harassing all of them by waiting for a spot to open up.
Did he have a penis?
Yes.
There you go.
Yep, found
Mission accomplished
every time.
Since then, the student advisor from Kennesaw State has been suspended.
Oh.
And I'm fairly certain we'll either like have some pretty substantial punishment or probably be terminated.
Well, you know, she's being harassed by upper management right now.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she thinks that, but I thought that was really fucking funny.
You know, she's a white woman. What she says goes.
Oh, let me read this. This is the student's response.
And this guy is actually black.
Or not the students. This is one of the alumni's response.
Did he have a black penis?
Yep, a big one.
Then, wow.
Was he a black dude? I didn't know if he was black.
I just asked you.
I think I saw a picture of him and he was black.
If a black man looks at a white woman, that is harassment.
Yeah.
He's probably going to rape her, you know? I mean, that's just a given, because he's black.
Can't
look her directly in the eye.
He handled his animal instincts.
It's going a bad way.
You know, he's just waiting over there in the wood pile, waiting to jump out.
But I strongly recommend it, because this lady is fucking hilarious. She's just all mad, and she's so fucking, like, terse and shit.
Yeah.
I strongly recommend the video.
She's mad with power that she doesn't have.
Oh god, it's so fucking weird. It's such a surreal moment because you can even like hear it in the guy's voice of like, "Are you fucking serious?
Crazy?
Like, is this bitch crazy?" And you kind of get the feeling from the video that they've probably had a couple of interactions prior to this, and he was just like, "I got a video of this crazy bitch," and he got lucky.
Yeah, it's almost like she thinks they're in the 1960s, and if she just says that, you know, magically a lynch mob is going to come out of, you know, fuck knows where and jump on him.
Get your pitchforks.
Oh, I would like a good riot.
And here's one that's kind of depressing.
No.
It's an innovative pill pack that sorts daily pills to make it easy for the elderly to access their meds.
That's horrifying.
I know, they might live longer, and I feel like that's a bad thing.
Definitely. Maybe if we snuck the wrong meds in there,
old
you know,
people
maybe
are a pain in the ass.
put some sugar pills, maybe.
No, they take forever to cross the street, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
God, have you ever been behind one of those bastards in line?
Mike, they got to talk to some. They got to pull out their checkbook and write a check instead of paying with cash.
Although realistically, I can see one major issue with this from the get-go, and that's that a machine fills this, so there's gonna be like mistakes made.
Oh, yeah. Computers always make mistakes.
If you're so fucked up that you can't figure out your own meds, shouldn't you just have somebody else help you, if possible? Because it seems like this is a bad idea to rely on.
Are we depending on
I'll just open this thing and take it.
Are we depending on old people to work computers and machines?
No, they don't have to work the machine.
Okay.
They just have to,
No, the
they
pharmacy
just have
would
to get
deliver
that.
your medications.
That's not going to work.
That are labeled for what day and what time you take them.
Okay.
And so the only downside I can see is that, like, even with a pharmacy, like, for instance, I work in mental health, and I inventory all the medications we receive, and they're all in bubble packs, which has one pop out for each day of the month. So you get a month's supply of each medication, and you pop it, like, the first you pop out one, the second you pop out two, blah, blah, blah.
It's like a fun game.
Yeah, and it makes it simple when you've got, like, say, 10 different pills you're supposed to take at, like, 8 o'clock in the morning. You just go through and you know, pick up one, pop it, set it down, but like it just seems like a bad idea to just have like a packet that if you're already having trouble figuring out what kind of meds you're supposed to be taking, if there's a mistake in one of those packets, you're not going to know. You're just going to be like, well, it says 8 o'clock, time to fucking take that shit.
And it looks like those packages, you just like tear them open. You can't pop it.
Oh yeah, it's not fun at all.
That's true. Maybe it dissolves and stimulates the saliva glands so you don't even have to have water.
To be fair, I trust a computer more than I trust a human, you know.
Oh, yeah, no. I think you'll have less issues. I think it's just like there's still going to be that
Embrace the computer overlords.
I think there's a possibility for, like...
You know what? You're right. You're actually, you know what? Class, you're right on that one, because I do work with some grade A fucking morons.
Oh yeah.
And we've had some really bad medication errors. All that have been reported to the proper authorities, and everything's been handled. So I don't feel the need to like worry about that, people.
To death.
To our legion of audience.
Yeah.
Our legion of
we've had people give like the wrong meds at the wrong time and shit, and it's just like, how do you? It's all fucking labeled. Everything is labeled.
Yeah.
I can't read labels. Well, then you need meds. You're the one that needs meds.
Yeah, we've had some really just grade A fucktards where I've worked. But then again, they don't pay very much, so.
I thought they could take any of them. They're all pills.
Is it a good time to mention that we didn't mention the biggest news of the week, which is E3?
Oh, yeah.
Just
I thought we were gamers.
Lost over that
gigantic fucking thing, which is
so
awesome.
The only. I'll be honest. I don't follow E3 that closely because every year I follow it, it's like cringy presentation after cringy presentation. Like nobody.
There's a couple cringeworthy moments. There was I think EA had some cringeworthy moments.
Oh, they
brought out like this soccer legend guy and talked to him for like ever.
Oh my god!
During the gaming convention, yeah, it was really like why.
I mean, I could see if you're doing FIFA, then you could do like a quick 5-minute blurb about the soccer guy.
Well, that's what it was, but it was just. And then they had like Angela Bassett come out, and it's like, yay, Angela.
Did you see? It was for gamers. It was for Just Dance. Instead of because who's going to be at this convention? It's going to be the hardcore gamers and nobody who's going to be concerned with Just Dance. So what they did was they got $1 million pop star Jason Derulo to come and do a whole performance that nobody there like.
That was a great time
not
to
only
take a piss.
Not only that, but he did it off key.
Just can't fucking sing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh,
it's all the wonderful live events that he must.
It was one of the worst live performances I've ever seen.
That's another one that needs to be on the list. People who are famous for being singers that can't fucking sing.
There we go. Kill list.
You don't need to be able to sing. They can just auto-tune everything.
Like, have you heard Lorde sing live?
No, I haven't. Is she awful?
Terrible. I don't even know, like, because she's ugly and she can't sing. What does she have going for her that makes her famous?
Auto-tune.
Yeah, auto-tune is the musical industry. Because, like, when I was, what was I, like 16, I went to Lollapalooza with a friend of mine.
Yay.
And it's a big, bunch of different bands and, like, different styles of music put together. And you know what? I hated Tool. I don't like that band. But they could fucking sing. Like, they actually put on a show, and they could
even
fucking
if you don't
sing.
like a band,
it was far more entertaining than that cunt Jason Derulo was.
But no, I guess before we end it, what do we, like, from people who did watch E3, or got something from E3, what is something you're excited for?
I did get a couple things. I know
holographic Minecraft.
Nintendo is starting to work on a new system called the NX right now. I'm pretty sure it's going to get another name. Yeah. But I'm kind of hoping, I don't know, I haven't heard anything about it other than they're making a new one, and people are pissed because they just bought Wii U's.
Well, they realize that the Wii U is going to probably tank. And
what I kind of want is like, I kind of want them to have like a system on par with the PS4 and Xbox 360. I don't know how well they could do that, but I think that would be cool. Just to have three.
I think what the issue, at least from what I've read about, like N64, which being a fantastic game, actually not so much N64, GameCube and Wii and Wii U and stuff like that, is it's all like fun party kind of games.
Yeah.
And it's always been that kind of fun party thing. It's in a category all of its own.
Yeah.
Where you have the PlayStation and Xbox are really obviously a lot different and a lot different games that come with it.
And
so everyone
that was their excuse.
Needs...
That was their excuse for why the Wii wasn't high definition. Was that they were like, we're not competing with them. We're in our own thing. And then they got fucking destroyed.
See, the problem is, if I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to jump out of that, be innovative and everything, to try to compete with Xbox and PlayStation, and that's just not going to happen. Not when you're like considered the party system.
But
you know, like having Rock Band and Mario playing 4-player
on themselves though.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And they made it really difficult for
they can
really
break out of that if they wanted to.
For third-party developers.
I really think they could break out of that if they wanted to. I mean, you could play Assassin's Creed 4 on Wii U.
That's awesome.
So it's like, you know, if you can play that game, you can play some other violent shit on the Wii U. It's just not as plentiful.
I will always be a Zelda fan, though. I never hope that Nintendo.
I think Minecraft on the Wii would be pretty interesting. I don't know that I'd play it, but I think they could make a lot of money on that just given
Minecraft on hologram. Okay,
I saw that, but
toaster, and that toaster would sell off the shelves.
All right, so I saw that too, and I was pretty amazed at first. Then I went into the comments. It was I saw it on Reddit.
Screen sharing again? Oh, my bad.
So I went to the Reddit comments. And,
off. Piece of shit.
I went to the Reddit comments, and they just completely destroyed it. It was like, you know, everything you saw in the video, that's not really realistic. That's not how it looks. You know, it looks a lot worse than that. So it needs to improve before it gets to that level that they showed you. And that was really, like,
from what I understood, they just hooked up a holograph thing to the camera. So that piece of hardware did run that, supposedly.
Oh, no, it can run that, but not as smoothly. It'll be much more choppy. You know, it'll be much more choppy. The field of view will be much smaller, because you know the glasses aren't as wide as the camera, and some other stuff. Oh, your hand
fitted glasses onto the camera.
Your hand will also be behind all the holograms, so it's not like you can reach out and touch something. Like you can reach out and have your hand under this thing.
Yeah. No, you're not going to touch anything.
No, I wish though.
Your wiener.
So
always wanted to flick one of those Minecraft characters.
That would be holographic Minecraft.
Okay,
just torture one, you know.
What about the fact that they had the Nintendo World Champions return after 25 years? Did anyone know about that at all?
I didn't know about. I just knew about the bad parts. That's what I look for.
I found out about it halfway through it happening. How was that not advertised? How was that not the biggest fucking deal ever?
Oh, I don't even know who those are.
The Nintendo World Championships?
I mean, I could. No, not really. No.
Well, just
I wasn't alive for that.
Use your imagination.
I know exactly. I know what it is from the name, but I don't really care. That happened before I was born.
Only imagine.
Yeah, exactly. It hasn't happened for 25 years, and then they bring it back.
What the fuck are you wearing?
About it.
I forgot that my character still had the on.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, the two things I took away from E3 are Xbox finally figuring it out and having the
backwards
compatibility.
How much more expensive is that system going to be, though?
That's huge.
Don't give a shit. That's awesome.
No, that's huge. Yeah, that PlayStation.
That needs to be on every fucking console that comes out.
PlayStation the problem with it, why they didn't include it in the initial systems, is it makes the system $100 more expensive generally, unless they found another way to do it.
Who cares?
Think about how much money you will not be spending.
How much money have you already spent on your fucking video game library?
Here, this is how much people care. When the PlayStation 4 came out at $100 more expensive than the Xbox 360, even though it had it had all the stuff people liked, they didn't buy it because it wasn't just because it was backwards compatible. Like, if that makes any sense. They care about the cost of the system more than they care about backwards compatibility, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but for people like me that have a huge library on a system that's still HD quality and good enough to play, not having backwards compatibility is fucking huge, because now it's like, oh, they're going to re-release all these games on the new console. And
I totally get it. You don't have to roll the dice that they're going to come out with a string of great games for the PS4, which you should definitely buy over the Xbox 360. Or the Xbox One.
You should probably, if you're a real super gamer, just buy both of them. There's no reason.
No, just buy a PC.
Just shell out all the money.
No, there's console exclusives that you can't get on PC, and sometimes you want those.
Yeah, but I hate Microsoft.
Am I muted?
I'll put it out there.
But you're telling people to buy a PC. What are they going to run on it? Microsoft.
They can run Linux or something if they're into that kind of thing.
Do you run Linux?
More than anything, I think what killed the
Xbox. You run Microsoft and hate it at the same time.
I hate, Microsoft.
I do too. I'm right there with you.
It's a solid operating system.
Yeah, but I was going to say that the thing that killed Xbox sales wasn't really anything other than them having this weird, like, you always have to be connected.
Oh, yeah.
And all sorts of stuff like that. Even though they eventually went back on it, so many people were just turned off by the whole thing.
Yeah, it's gimmicky as hell.
Well, yeah, it's the fact that they even wanted to do it.
They didn't understand what the people wanted. People want a gaming system. They don't want something that can go on fucking Netflix, which their computer can already do, and a lot of their TVs.
Well,
something that can watch sports, which their cable box already does.
Hold on now. People say that, but the vast majority of people watching Netflix are on, like, consoles and shit.
Yeah, but
that's a huge. Like, people say they don't care about that, but they really do. It's just that E3 is not the place to focus on that, and that's what they did last year.
At the cost of having a better gaming system, I don't think they'll want that.
I really don't think there is much of a cost though, because it's literally just an app now. It runs on the operating system that's already there.
Well, no, I'm not Netflix necessarily, but the whole like it's a cable box too.
Yeah, but it's like there's no downside to like I can watch
and the Kinect. The Kinect was also
like,
one of the things that took away from it.
You had to have a Kinect to play.
Yeah, the Kinect it costs like $100 and it's still not profitable at that point.
Yeah, it wasn't fantastic, but I got some yucks out of it. It wasn't.
I actually, when it first came out, I bought one. I thought that was super cool. I was excited about that.
They got your money.
Yeah, they got my money. And then they released a couple of games which were kind of fun. I'll be honest, I had some pretty good times with the Kinect, but
it's like a novelty thing.
Yeah.
It's not necessary to get a good experience out of the Xbox, but
exactly.
It's good. If you got $100 to shell it, which I don't.
And those voice commands, were so gimmicky, so unnecessary. I can go up to my system. I'm not that fat that I can't get up off my couch and go to my system.
Yeah, only your head is.
And you can already turn it on and off with the controller. So if you leave the controller at the table by the couch, you sit down on the couch and use the controller to turn it on.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're still going to need to get up and down to put a game in and out. Doesn't have like a 26 game cache in there or something.
Now it does.
Unless you buy it off the system, then you do.
I'll be honest with you. There's been times where it's like I want to play that game, not getting up to change games.
Jesus.
I've got 50 games right here digitally downloaded. I'll just pick one of those.
Yeah, that's what we do with our PCs, right?
Yeah, that's PCs. It's the best because you just download them.
It is nothing but digital downloads. I have maybe one game case.
Yeah.
That is because I just ended up buying the physical copy, but I would have bought the digital copy.
If it's super cheap, I'll still buy a physical copy. But if it's if it's like $20 cheaper, I'll buy it.
So, last thing before we probably cut off because we've been actually going over.
Yeah,
we're far over our time. It's awesome.
We went way past.
But that's all right. I've been playing Minecraft, so I'm good.
Yeah, because it's nothing you want to talk about apparently. I mean,
I have nothing to add to the conversation.
We only game like every couple days, out
I'm
of the
a
week.
casual gamer, dude. You gotta accept that.
Right. Yeah, we sit there and have fun.
Final Fantasy VII remake.
Fucking remakes.
Yeah. Okay, now that I'm looking forward to.
Final Fantasy VII remake. Finally, awesome. They teased that for fucking the intro of PS3.
Oh god, my guy's starving to death.
Yeah, when they introduced PS3, they showed a trailer. They're like, this is what Final Fantasy VII would look like on PS3, the new console, and everyone's like, oh, they got to be working on a remake. Fucking 7 years later. God damn.
So is it exclusive to PlayStation?
It's
I don't think so.
Or I think it is actually.
Really?
Really? I thought it was. I was hearing.
I'm not sure.
But a bunch of other ones. Not
Wait, hold on.
Just Final Fantasy VII. Okay, you do that.
Shut your mouth for a second.
On top of everything.
Right there.
Let's see.
On top of everything being remake, though, you also have Banjo-Kazooie. You also have
Oh, it's going to be
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
multi-platform. It is
fucking
multi-platform.
great.
Good, so we can play it on PC. No need to buy a stupid
And
console.
Xbox One.
Why would
Like,
you ever want to play on Xbox
But
One,
it's
though?
exclusive to PlayStation for a little while.
Oh, it's.
I love how exclusive just means, yeah, for a couple weeks, a month, or whatever.
And then we realize we're not making enough money, and then we give everybody else something.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, this is how much time our money bought us.
The platform probably paid for the game to be made and all this kind of stuff, so they wanted some return on that. I mean, that's understandable.
Oh no, I can understand that. I just think it's
And
kind of
initially,
funny.
At least they're not making it permanently exclusive. They're just making it exclusive for a period of time.
Yeah,
But that's not exclusive.
yeah, it's
well,
not.
it's.
They're just
giving it
using
the
that
PlayStation.
word now because people are like, ooh, exclusive, I gotta get it now.
I gotta get the exclusive part. I think what makes it like okay is that it initially came out for PlayStation. It was already a PlayStation exclusive, and so having like an exclusive little like even fraction of time
And
where
before
it's
that,
gonna
it
be
was
PlayStation,
Nintendo.
it's fine.
Before
Before
that,
it was.
it was Nintendo. So I mean,
Oh, I mean, I guess.
years and years, Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Super
I
Nintendo,
don't
Sega
remember
Genesis.
Final Fantasy being on Super Nintendo.
They changed the numbers of the games. Like we got 3, and it was like 6, or I forget the whole story.
Yeah.
I actually do not remember because I was pretty into one of those games a while ago when I was a kid, but I can't remember which one of them. It was the one with Mickey Mouse in it, or Goofy.
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts, yeah. So it wasn't Final Fantasy.
That's actually a really good game.
I almost made it the whole way through. I actually beat the storyline, tried to beat all the extra like monsters and stuff.
I 100%ed that game.
I got stuck into some cave in like in the Alice in Wonderland area that I couldn't get out of, so I moved on to another game.
That's at the beginning.
But no,
like
Final Fantasy VII, 8, not really, but it was a okay
8
game.
was
maybe it wasn't Alice in Wonderland. I don't know.
Never played 9, which was kind of weird because I had like the monkey main character. I wasn't
9
quite
was
sure on that one.
okay, but it definitely had a different tone than 7 or 8.
Yeah, and then 10 was just awesome. I don't know. He's ducking out.
Stabby's given up on life at this point.
Yeah.
Have fun with that one.
At the naughty pics of class.
I can hear your feedback.
Sorry. I was just getting really bored and I had to do something.
I love it.
Okay, I think when one of our
We're
members
like 20 minutes over.
Yeah.
is super bored, I think it's time to end this shit.
Probably
All right.
Yeah.
at this point.
Enough nerding out. Let's
Go watch E3.